Hi guys, today I want to show you how I mix a track, one of my productions. It's called Icaro. It's more like a deep techno track, I would say. This is how it goes. Okay, so before I start, I already exported the file, which is my mixdown file, the file I have after like a production session. And then I would compare it with the improvements I do over the course of this mixing session. So let's go and work on my master track. I have here an EQ, a bit of mid-range saturation. It's a preset from Ableton just to add a bit of more harmonics. Then I have glue compressor, which I have like half dB, 1 dB, not more. Then there is even next compressor that just catches the peaks. And that's it. That's it. I also use dP meter just to make sure and be like check what kind of loops and RMS kind of values I have, and then the span just to see the frequencies a bit better than on the EQ. Alright, so what I will start first is, and of course I have, so there is this track that I'm comparing this one with. Then there is this track called Medicine Chant, which is another one from the EP. Like I'm compiling these tracks too, so this will serve as a reference. And then I have two professional tracks. This is Primal Code, A Breeze, and Matteo Mori's Patient. Don't know how to say it. I'm using these tracks because those tracks, they're not exactly the style of my tune, but they're fairly close, and I just want to have them as a reference. So one thing to note when you're working with reference tracks is super helpful to work on the actual loops level. So my mix sitting currently around minus 19 loops. So I want to make sure I'll be comparing my references with roughly the same values. I already did gain staging, so I just used the utility, and roughly the same. So at the first glance, I can see that the low end is a bit subbier in those tracks and a bit more punchier, and I think it's just a matter of tuning a kick better. I already did that alteration, so I had the kick tuned to G, I guess sharp, but the whole track is in G, so yeah, I want to make sure my kick is in G. I would like to also add a bit of cut. Yeah, I already did that cut. Just to hide that boominess of that kick a bit. And then I would increase the volume of the kick itself. So then I will check this on the MV meter. This is super handy meter, which I use to make sure that my low end is properly balanced. Like, so how I work with it, it's like you have the kick, and I think it's a bit too loud. Yeah, around +1, +2. Then I want to not have such a big spikes. A bit of the spike is okay. So I see there's just this note that spikes low end a bit, that's okay for me. Then, and here I have a sub frequency. So this is playing below the kick, but also I'm using a compressor to tame it a bit. And here also I have the compressor that tames the bass when the kick drops. You could hear this click. The nice thing I learned is to use compressor from Live 8. Yeah, now we need to... Yeah, it works a bit better. Maybe we could, no, that's okay. So what I will use on the low end, it's drum bass here and then, but I've tried low drum bass here. Didn't work. It adds a bit of boominess. Maybe I could decrease that boominess a bit. Yeah, it's worth to check what levels are we. So -11, half 5. Yeah, a kick got a bit of boominess, but let's check our levels. Yeah, we're roughly the same. Maybe that's gonna work. Let's see in the whole context. Maybe just a... Yeah, actually I like that. Maybe with the decay slightly decreased. So this boominess is such a... Yeah, I think a bit of drum bass. What we could also use is a glue compressor here. Let's go for glue. And let's compress everything together just a touch. Fairly short attack, fairly short, longer release. I'm using longer attack just to make sure that the punch of the kick goes through. So let's use a bit. Yeah, and then just... So you see we've lost, this way, we've lost around roughly decibel and a half, decibel I guess. So we can increase, use the makeup just to increase. Yeah, so you always want to make sure that you match those values, peak values, and the loops values, RMS values. We are roughly the same. So let's check if this helps or not. That's here in the context. Yeah, I think it's more tight. I will double check it on the monitors though, but I can't do it at this moment. And let's check the whole low-end processing, if it's gonna work. We were also gonna to cut those bits, a bit of boominess, but with this cut, like over here, just a touch. So let's add that actually to the rack. Without. I like how they add the visuals now with the latest update. Let's do a blinds test. Okay, now I don't know which one is one. Okay, I like that one better. Yeah, this is with the processing. Alright, so this was the low end. Then let's go to the lead. This lead, in my opinion, is a bit too... Yeah, I need more... I would like it to be, yeah, a bit louder. And I would also like it to be more present. So for this instance, I would do a return rack, and I have the preset already. Okay, return drive. So what this is a Devastor, which is D16 plugin, but you can use fairly any amp or distortion plugin or saturation plugin. on the market. So what I'm having here is the Devastor, which is saturation plugin, then EQ to cut all the lows, then brute compression, which makes everything compress a bit, and then I'm using the width, I'm widening everything just to make sure that the sound I'll be putting through this chain will pop out in the medium, in the mid of the spectrum. So let's hear it. Yeah. Without it. With it. Yeah, just a touch. So what I would like also change is that I don't like this lead to be all the stereo. So what I will do is in Valhalla, which is my delay here, I would decrease the width. Yeah, so I would like this lead to be centered, more centered than stereo, blah, 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 panning left to right. Because on the left to right, I'm gonna have this pad that I have here, pad. And this pad is, let's listen to them both. And I would like it to be louder. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, so now we have this nice stereo separation. Lead it kinda in the middle. Pad, and we can actually, what we can do more is add an EQ8 and see what kind of frequencies are occupied with the lead. It's like around 1K, I would say. So in the pad section, I would use mid-side and I would kind of add this pad in the mid section. So the pad is not occupying those frequencies. Yeah, when pad kind of like opens, we can hear it in stereo. And I like that. Okay, now we have these kind of sounds. I think they could be a tad lower. Yeah, let's listen. Yeah, I think a bit lower. Okay, we also are having this one, this guy, and I think it's too present. I think it just needs to be quieter. Yeah, I was listening to this track already on the bigger sound system and I had the impression that this sound was too loud, so I know that this is the change I would like to make. Okay, we also have this kind of voice, which I want a bit louder. We'll also put it to the return channel. Oh, nice, nice. Yes, I was having an impression that there's some resonance here. Okay, now we have this section. this guy. I think I just want to cut it from the lows and I want to have it a bit lower. Okay, I'm using a bit of automation here on Valhalla Supermassive, and I would also decrease it a bit. Okay. I think the volume is okay. Okay, so I had some notes that I did when I was listening to it. And yeah, that was all the changes I wanted to make, to be honest. Let's then now compare it to the original. No, let's compare it to our reference tracks and see if there are any changes we need to make. I think we have changed the loops, made a ring, because we raised the kick, which makes this track a bit louder. So we are right now hitting -18 loops. So here we want to make sure this is also around -18, sorry. Yeah, roughly the same. Take into consideration that these are mastered tracks, so they already went through some proper mastering processing, which makes them sound better because they got extra EQ, saturation, and all of that jazz. So we are not going to probably achieve 100% that quality. We need but if we aim to get fairly there, that's gonna be good enough. And of course, I'm gonna check this track called Medicine Chant, which is the track I'm having a second track from that EP. I just kind of lower it down a bit, just so we are in the same -11 values. I'm always when I'm comparing, I'm listening to first low frequencies. Yeah, this track is kick is a bit boomier, but I like it. I think it's okay. And I'm if I would play them after each other, would kick, low end still would have the same punch and power. And to my taste, yes, it would have. So this is super important, we are comparing apples to apples in terms of volumes, yeah? If we play the same volume, would this still match each other? Okay, let's see primal code. The kick here is different, it's softer, but the sub bass is a bit louder in my opinion. But okay, those two works for me. Then check out the next, let's check out the lead sounds. So the melody. Here we actually don't have a lead melody, as far as I remember. Okay, so let's try this one. Roughly the same volume. A tad lower, so maybe that's a bit too much, so let's just decrease it a bit. All right, and not now all those extra bits, all those bits. I think they are okay. Let's hear the pad, so this sound. Here the pad is louder. I think maybe we could add a bit of, yeah, the pad could be louder. Oh, but I'm not gonna make it louder itself. I'm just gonna push it to the drive, return drive. That's too much. Okay, that's good enough. Maybe a bit louder, half decibel. Yeah, I think this is alright. Then let's focus on, okay, so the second lead in my opinion, so this kind of perky was okay. So let's focus on hi-hats now. Okay, let's have some. Let's have some perky moments over here. Sorry, not this time. Okay, to my taste, the hi-hats are too loud. So let's see what we have here. This is kind of like FX. In my opinion, this could be this is the main one. Okay, too loud, in my opinion. Yeah, let's maybe keep the loudness, but okay. We have these guys. Which yeah, definitely too loud. Let's turn this guy off. Okay, let's see another hot section over here. Pum, 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 pum. Okay, that's good enough in my opinion. Let's see what's the automation here. Doesn't make sense, so we're gonna turn this off. Okay, this guy seems a bit too loud. FM operator, this sound. I'm gonna turn it down. Okay. Okay, we also have some shakers here, but I think they're okay. So this is the final test I always like to do when I'm having, like setting the balances. I'm just turning everything down and then turning it up. And see what pops out. That's okay in my opinion. Okay, let's then now compare what we have with what we had. What we can also do is maybe add a bit of drum compression on the hi-hats so they not pop out that much. And here I had drum bus compressor, yeah, just a compressor on hi-hats. Maybe it's too. So what I did already, we have those hi-hats playing stereo because of the autopan. And we have these guys like using effects due to the echo. And this guy plays center. What could also, yeah. So what I would also do, which I forgot so far, is to add a bit of reverb just to make every sound fit into the same space. So what we will do is, this guy is already sent to this reverb, but I will, so this is the short reverb, kinda short reverb, half of the second, a bit cut down with the compressor. I had overdrive initially, but I'm not using it anymore. The same is here with the overdrive on, so this is the longer reverb. Yeah, 3.5 seconds mostly with a bit of early refraction. So I would add, that's too much. Okay, that's okay. Now the lead. This is already sent to reverb. This guy is also sent. This, we need, yeah, a bit of on two reverb, then the vocals. Yeah, then the pad. And the highs, I only put the highs to the hat reverb. I exaggerate and then I, yeah, just add a touch. That's okay. The same with effects, I can just send the group. So that's too much. That's also too much. This guy is already sent, so we can decrease it a bit. All right. This is some extra texture I have over. I think it could be a bit lower. Okay, let's see now what kind of values we have. -19. Okay, -11, -18.5. Let's see our mix down, original one. Roughly the same, I guess. Maybe it could be a tad louder. Okay, they're roughly the same. So this is the version before all those processing, and this is where we are currently. I think the kick here, it's more coherent, I guess. Yeah, the pads, the leads are more present. Yeah, it sounds fuller, I would say. Okay, to my taste, I did some progress. It took me roughly 30 minutes. So this is it. Like, maybe you could spend more time, but I already had some mix downs. Like when I'm producing, I'm trying to like add the sounds and kind of like fit them to my composition. So we could say it's already pre-mixed in some sense, but those additional touches are important because they kind of like add that icing on the cake and make sure that track is up to standards. It's kind of like on the same spot, on the same line with another track. So yeah, I think that was it. The main thing I wanted to take out of this lesson is to use DP meter or any other metering tool and compare loops to have some reference. Like prior to you start mixing, have a file that reflects the composition stage, so you see or you can hear that you've made some progress, and use some reference tracks that you know sounds well, and you can compare the stuff you have or what you aim for. And also like to have to use a bit of return channel with a bit of drive just to saturate sounds a bit, to put them forward, yeah, to make them more prominent. I used a bit of drum bass, and then I just was mainly using volume just to create the depth, so to have stuff on the really like first plan, second plan, and the third plan, which is in the video I did over here on the right side of the screen, where you will see me explaining the depth in the hypnotic techno or any kind of like electronic music composition. Hope that was helpful. Take care, bye.